qualifying run. So I got a little ways to go today.
Right down here, what's your name?
Michelle,
Michelle, and what's your question?
for Danica. Racing on Saturday and Sunday in the same weekend, what do you learn on Saturday that helps you on Sunday?
So you can feel how the track changes throughout the race, how the line's moving around, you know, just generally the tendencies of the car. I feel like there's a lot more similarities between the nationwide race and the cup race than practice and practice. So I think that there was a lot to learn yesterday. I always feel like when I come from the nationwide race into the cup car the next day that a lot of stuff carries over. So, you know, I learned where the best place to restart was. I learned where the momentum is, you know, where the car can be a little bit loose or a little bit too tight in what scenarios. So hopefully that'll help today, because I need all the help I can get at this point.
Go smoke!
And what's your name?
Emily?
Emily, you're all excited. What's your question?
I didn't have one.
You didn't have one. I thought, oh, it was you. Okay.
I'm Katie, and mine's for Danica. What are your goals for Sprint Cup next year?
Well, thank you, and you were the one that I gave the watch to yesterday before the race. That's right. You were the TISO winner. So my goals, honestly, it's to get through the whole thing and improve throughout the race. I think one of the things that you know, I tend to do is be a little methodical with my learning, and so it takes me a while to get going, and I get frustrated in the cup car because I'm not as fast as I want to be. But I was the same way in the nationwide car when I first got into it too. It was like I'd come on throughout the race, but it was always too late. And so I feel like I've gotten to the point in the nationwide car where if the car is right from the start, I have days like yesterday where I can run up front all day. So hopefully I'll just keep picking it up as I go, and hopefully the pace is good at the end of the race, and we can take that into next year and be closer on the setup, and I can be closer with my driving.
What's your name?
Annette,
Annette, and what is your question?
I was wondering if you guys are invited to any Halloween parties, and if you are, what you're going to wear.
Go ahead, Tony.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. The last one I got invited to that I could actually go to was Rutledge Wood, who was over on the speed stage while we were in Atlanta, and I went as mid-70s Fat Elvis. We drove all the way to downtown Atlanta and found a red sequin Elvis jumpsuit with the white boots, the blue Elvis glasses, the TCB necklace, the whole deal. Glued sideburns on. I already had the long wavy hair anyway for that era. So, and the best part is my rental car that week was a red Cadillac. So, now this is the part where the kids won't understand what's going on, but you adults that know anything about Elvis will understand. I stopped at a Walgreens before I went to the party, and I bought every different colored aspirin they had and put them in the pockets. So when everybody said, "Hey, how are you?" I'd pull my hand on my pocket and stuff would fall everywhere on the floor. So, but if you're gonna go as mid-70s Fat Elvis, you got to play the whole role, not just part of it.
I love it.
Did you pass out in the bathroom at the end of the night?
No, because when I went in there, I went in after Rutledge, and it was not a place you wanted to stay. And I will say this, I thought he had the best costume of the night. He went as the naked cowboy in New York City. So and it was about 45 degrees, so he had nothing on but cowboy boots, a cowboy hat, and I don't know what that thing was wrapped around his waist. But
Danica, how about
like
you?
they were smuggling kittens or something.
I don't think I can top that story, nor can I tell my story from last year. So just understand and know that I won. My husband and I won the competition. We were the best dressed, but I can't tell you what it was.
So basically what you're saying is you're a freak.
If that's what y'all want to think, or terribly distasteful, I'll tell you when we walk away.
All right.
So guys, what does Danica and Tony give away for Halloween? At your house? Yeah, like what do you give out candy, chips?
I just give
hats?
myself away. I've been laughing because I always scan the crowd, and I always scan, you know, the front row always gets all the attention. I've been scanning over here. This lady's got 50 Shades of Smoke, which I could probably rewrite a 50 Shades of Smoke book that would get some attention. And I'm trying to figure out, and this poor lady over here that's trying to ask me to marry her has She is gaining track position as we've gone here. She's gained about 20 feet through the crowd, and I haven't seen anything but her hands and the sign. So I have no idea if I want to accept your application or not. But she's got a hell of an effort going. She's working her way up. So.
What's your question, sir? What's your name?
David,
David, what's your question, buddy?
Tony, you have a lot of color schemes on your cars. Do you have a favorite one that you like out of the years racing cup cars?
Of the race cars or street cars?
Race cars.
I would say it changes. I mean, it changes year to year. I've been running a World of Outlaws sprint car this year. It's with the driver in it. We got to weigh 1,400 pounds, and they got 925 horsepower. So they got a lot of power to weight ratio. So I've been having a lot of fun driving that thing this year.
What's your name?
My name's Mary.
Mary, and your question. I mean, you've been here for 3 hours.
All right. My question is for both of you. On the average, how many autographs do you sign in a week?
Oh, wow. How many autographs did you guys sign in a week?
It varies depending on if I've got a stack of stuff to sign or not, but it's it's usually at least a couple hundred a week, I would say.
Yeah,
we're Tony's a lot more popular than me though, so.
Danica,
yeah, we have stuff for each appearance that we have that they'll bring that needs to be signed, and then the stuff that we do depends on how many appearances you have during the weekend too. So we had a Office Depot appearance this week with Ryan and signed 300 autographs there, and then stuff we've done at the track and stuff that we've had to do for hospitalities this morning. So it's I'd say it's over 500 each week with what we have at the shop all the time.
is there some sort of like etiquette for fans? Like they always say, how do I get their autograph? I mean, is there a time not to ask you, or is there a good time to ask you?
I'm sure we both have our own opinions for sure,
Not
but
when we're going in the bathroom.
yeah.
That seems to be a popular one for.
Has that happened,
I don't
Tony?
know about you, but my rule, I don't sign in the bathroom. And if you follow me in, I make you walk out, and if you can keep up, you can get something signed. I walk pretty fast, so I phase out the people that don't really care that much. But it's hard to stop, especially I know on these double duty weekends, it is hard to stop. And even when you're not, you're always going to where you need to go at the time you're supposed to go. You don't say, I'm going to leave 10 or 15 minutes early so I can stop and sign for people because, heck, nobody maybe doesn't want you to sign. So I walk and sign. Everywhere I go, I'll walk and sign. I have no problem with that, but sometimes we just don't have time to stop, and it's no offense, no problem. But if I have time, I always make sure that it's for the kids first before anybody.
It's a pretty good rule of thumb.
Awesome. And what is your name?
My name's Melinda, and I have a question for Tony. Where is your favorite fishing spot?
My favorite fishing spot. Honestly, it's at my house. I mean, Chrissy Newman, Ryan's wife, finished my house, and I've been moved in for 2 months, and I got to go home this past weekend, and I got home probably 15 minutes before dark, and I just grabbed a rod and went out on my dock, and literally first 4 casts I caught 4 fish. So I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good spot.
I thought you were gonna name a bar down the street or something. I thought you were gonna name a bar down the street.
Yeah, the one with the neon lights. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Danica,
I fished down there, but I haven't caught much.
Kind of think you live in the middle of nowhere a little bit, so the options, there's not a lot of fish in that pond.
Well, there's a lot of big fish in that pond. And it's the only time that you don't want to catch a big fish.
I don't fish, but I'm in NASCAR now, and I've heard that Tony Gibson wants to take me hunting, so I got a feeling I'm going to try a lot of stuff I've never tried before.
She's going to learn during the off season. We're going to take her to do all kinds of stuff she never wants to do again.
I told Tony, when I texted him after I heard that, I said, I'm probably better at drinking beer than hunting, but he said, drunk hunting is always fun, so I think that sounds extremely dangerous.
See, there's
me and a gun in general just feels nervous, so unless it's unless it's a Halloween gun that's not real.
Well, we're going to give you a real gun. We're just not going to put anything inside of it.
Thank God. That's a wise choice.
But see, so everybody fully understands, it's all right to go hunt and then drink beer. It's not all right to drink beer and then go hunt. But it's very much all right to go hunt and then at the end of the day drink beer. So.
All right,
yes,
what's your
sir.
name? Cody? What's your question, buddy?
I have it for both of you guys. What's your guys' favorite track?
What's your favorite track?
My favorite cup track is actually Richmond. It's the only 3/4 mile track we have on the schedule, and it's where I won my first race. So it's there's always some special place in your heart about the place you win your first race. So Richmond's mine.
For me, I suppose, I've liked Texas and Vegas so far probably the most of all the tracks. They, I think, suit my style, and, like Tony said about a special place winning, I feel like the tracks that you do well at are the tracks that I tend to like more. So, I liked Kansas yesterday, so maybe I'll like it today too.
Danica, everybody wants to know what it's like to work with Tony.
I don't know, you're getting a taste of it. It's pretty fun.
Sounds like a big party.
Not only that, but he really believes in me, and I really appreciate that. And he's given me a huge opportunity, so I'm really grateful. And I feel like I have a lot to learn. But most of all, I think that the reason why he has such a great organization is because he leads by example, and he works hard, but he has a lot of fun at the same time, and that's I think a great formula for success.
Well, we know that Tony's passionate. We know darn well you're passionate. Let's give it up for Danica Patrick and Tony